You're listening to the Feel Good Astrology podcast with Louisa Munson. To request your personal reading, go to feelgoodastrology.com.
This is an update. It's an amalgamated update. I've recorded it in pieces around working with my children and doing stuff with my husband. You can see this picture of the beach behind me. This is where we went today, by the way. I live in Portugal. And the reason I've got this up is because this is the ocean behind us, and the ocean is very much Pisces energy. And so what inspired me to record these healing messages for you was, Saturn's moving into the sign of Pisces, Pluto is moving into the sign of Aquarius, and we've got Jupiter and Chiron together in the sign of Aries. And all three of them together are creating this upswell of emotion, this upswell of something to heal first, which is the Jupiter and Chiron. For us to express stability in some way from understanding how to work with Saturn, and then how we transform on a much bigger level over a period of months. So Librans then, you may well find that you get a few issues with the people you work with, and the people in your day-to-day. It may well feel like everyone's kind of trying to slow you down, like from running on ahead. Everyone's like, what about that KPI or whatever. You may well find it's time to actually start working for yourself. So it's like, who are you being responsible for? Are you being responsible for your house, your family, your kids, your boss, and blah, blah, it goes on. The important thing is that you're responsible for yourself. You take good care of your health, which could, like Saturn going through your sixth house can bring up health issues. It's important to get your structures right so that you really are running your life in the way you want it to go. Because where you're not actively involved in it, you can bet your bottom dollar Saturn's going to throw a spanner in the works. So just get very vigilant in how you're managing your home and your work. And like I say, if it feels too oppressive, like if your boss is just like too much and really trying to rein you in, and you're not okay with it, then start building up your work portfolio now. Consider working for yourself. That's a pretty strong Saturn sixth theme. Okay, so Libra, I was talking about Saturn and how Saturn's going into your sixth house, and that's going to, put a bit of pressure on maybe the way you organize your life and your health. It's a time to be a little bit more fastidious in how you're managing your health. There's a couple of other things that I think are playing into it. The thing that's coming up most readily, I would say, is the Jupiter and Chiron conjunction that's happening in your seventh house. And so the Jupiter and Chiron energy that's coming into you is reminding you of an original hurt to do with, I would say, love. It may well be an unfulfilled relationship. And I would also counter that has probably come from a feeling of not being loved enough from probably one of your first relationships ever, like your mum or your dad, or something very close to you that has left this sort of woundedness about not being good enough and not being lovable enough. And so you may find that that's been playing out in recent times, that you maybe don't feel good enough for your life, you don't feel good enough for your friendships, you don't feel good enough for your partner, and so you might find that it's that thing that's really emphasizing, I must get fit, I must get organized at home, and this, that, and the other. I would really recommend that you take away the pressure of your good enough first, because if you use that as a stick to beat yourself with, your ability to really take on a diet or get your life looking really good and feel good about the way you're working, it's going to be really hard to do that. You'll end up just beating yourself up. And Saturn really is a taskmaster, and Saturn loves beating people up. Saturn loves controlling people and cutting them down to size. So you might find that, if you're trying to make changes because you're not good enough, I would say slow down, stop, and just tune in and find out if you are good enough. I mean, if there's people around you that are that you feel like that with, I would really suggest moving away, stepping out of the closeness and intimacy of that and stepping into the intimacy of being good enough. It's people that adore you. Animals are really good for this because, I think loved pets absolutely show you how awesome you are, and it's a time to absolutely build yourself up. Now, what's also more important, I think, is to recognize the need for your creativity to come out right now. I mean, anyone with a strong Libra energy is somebody who creates, who values beauty, artistry, music, sensuality. I mean, it's all about feasting the senses. I mean, you're somebody who births things. Now, Pluto is moving into your 5th house. Now, if that's coinciding with you wanting to have children, then I would absolutely get clear about why you're having them and when you want to have them, and get as much darkness out of your vibrational body as you can. Pluto, I think, can really attract the birthing energies, but it can make them quite dark. And feel too powerful, almost like they're too powerful for your body to cope with. So I would absolutely get as much of this darkness or this not good enough out of your fields of energy if you can. And that might involve a little bit of coaching, or it might involve, talking things through with somebody. And that's okay. There's no rush at all about how you choose to heal right now if you choose to, but there is this opportunity to get very transformational with the way you're birthing things. So, if you are wanting to become a parent, you may well find that as you let go of some of the burdens you've been carrying, that your reasons for parenting and the way you want to parent is really transforming, rather than something that's going to be a heavy burden. It's going to lighten everything up and make it go much more smoothly. Suffice to say, you're moving into a deeply creative time. And, if you're really not in a place of birthing right now, and you're not in a place of, creating life, it's important to recognize that you still have this need to birth something. So it might be that, there is a hobby or passion that comes up. Pluto in the 5th house is also deeply sexy, and almost all-consuming. So what I would just say is lighten up your feelings about yourself. And as you do that, your passions will become much clearer. And of course, if your passions are much clearer and you're lighter about yourself, it's going to be much easier for you to maintain any new natural rhythms that you're wanting to bring into your life. So I hope that's helpful to you. So there you have it. That was my combined message for you at this time. Like I said, Chiron and Jupiter are giving us the inspiration for healing that's showing up in our lives right now. Saturn's coming in to help us formalize things. And in the areas where we're not happy to formalize them, it's tripping us up a little bit and showing us where we're restricted. So if you are feeling restricted, it's because there's a Saturn thing. You're being asked to take more responsibility on somewhere. And then Pluto is moving into a space to transform us beyond anything that we can even imagine. So, we are talking about deep psyche work going on at the moment. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. If there's anything I can do to help, just drop me a line. You can reach me at feelgoodastrology.com. And I will be very happy to help guide you through this process, either on a one-on-one basis, or even in a membership. There's all different ways I can help you, but just stay in contact. And if you found this useful and you think other people find it useful, then please do feel free to share. I really, really appreciate that. Anyway, lots and lots of love to you. Thank you so much for connecting, and hopefully I'll be connected again real soon with you. Bye for now.
You've been listening to the Feel Good Astrology podcast with Louisa Munson. To request your personal reading, go to feelgoodastrology.com.